morning, or good afternoon, good evening, good night, whenever you watch this. This is a presentation I like to call an intellectual snob, a presentation on Ryan Farley by Ryan Farley. So to start off, congratulations, you made it a whole year with me in your class. That guy, right there. So I'm known by a lot of different names. Some of those names include just simply Ryan. Others call me by my last name, Farley. Now, a lot of my teammates tend to call me Shinboy. And then some close friends know me as Ryan Patrick. And I'm also, as you called me, the AP Euro intellectual snob on the first day of school. What a throwback. So, let's start by talking about myself. If anyone can talk about themselves for hours, it's me. So, I do 3 main sports. So I've been doing cross country since 7th grade. Now, I'm not very good, but that's okay, because I'm captain next year, and I didn't make states myself, but I was there with my good friend Jack Holler, who I've known since preschool, which was pretty fun. And now, in cross country, one of my, I wouldn't say favorite memories, but most memorable was freshman year cross country. I dealt with the worst shin splints our athletic trainers had ever dealt with, but I didn't really like getting help. And I would keep running instead of going to the trainers or, taking time off from running to heal. And I went to an invitational at Moravian Academy down in the Lehigh Valley, and I reached mile 2, and next thing I know, I was on the ground unconscious for 5 minutes. Now, apparently, there's a cart that goes and picks up injured runners that can't finish the races, and that cart was coming to get me. I woke up and finished the race not knowing I was unconscious before the cart could get to me. So I think it's pretty impressive that I finished that race after being unconscious for a few minutes from pain. So I also do swim. I've been doing swim since 9th grade. Now, this sport isn't my best, but it's a lot better than cross country and it's a lot of fun. Now, but I deal with injury in this one as well. I had muscle spasms my freshman year, and I deal with really bad shoulder issues and rotators, but I work with the trainers here because I actually want to be good at this sport. You see, I hate distance running like cross country, but swimming, I like swimming. It's pretty fun. So my fun little story is with that muscle spasm freshman year, they still made me finish the race, and it was a relay. So I was kind of just stuck in the middle of the water, just drowning basically, and the official just told my teammate, just wait for him to finish and then you can swim. So I just had to one arm swim my way in, and then my good friend Nick Menitakis got to go in and finish the race. We lost, to be sure. Now, another fun fact is I happen to have the best belly flop on the East swim team. I am undefeated. No one can do a better belly flop than me. Now, my third and favorite sport is track and field. Now, I've been running track since 7th grade as well. So my two sports, cross country and track, I've been doing since junior high, and I plan to do track through college. I'm hoping to run D1, hopefully at the Air Force Academy or Georgetown or wherever I get accepted. So I specialize in the 110 meter hurdles and 300 meter hurdles. So I've been doing those since 7th grade as well. Now, this season I was projected by the league and our coaches to make the state meet and podium at our district championships. But because of our current crisis, that couldn't happen, so that really hit me hard, and I went into a slump when the season got canceled, and it was a bit of a rough time during our quarantine. But, we deal with what we've got, and I know I have my senior season, which is what counts. So I have that to look forward to next year. Aside from participating sports, I greatly enjoy watching sports. So, starting last year, the Premier Lacrosse League was founded out in California by Paul Rabel, a world-class lacrosse athlete and the captain of our national team. So the Premier Lacrosse League kind of functions like a soccer Premier League, as there's different club teams and they all compete for a championship at the end of the season. So with the inaugural season last year, I was like, hey, they're all new teams. I guess I need to pick a favorite. And I just happened to choose the Archers, and I think I chose well because they did fairly well last season. They didn't win the championship, but they did win the draft competition, and they got first draft pick. Now, my favorite football team happened to be the New York Giants. I am from Brooklyn after all, so you got to root for the New York teams. I'm not from Pennsylvania like a lot of people in our class. I would never root for the Eagles. I'm like, that's very disappointing when my friends say they're Eagles fans. It just it kills me a little bit inside. Now, with that, on the New York theme, I also happen to be a Mets fan, because no one likes the Yankees. Like, come on, no one likes the Yankees. And then we got the Rangers. They're one of the most respectable teams in hockey. You can't go wrong with a Rangers fan. There's no problem with it. Now, I mentioned it before when I talked about my track and field goals in college that I wanted to run at. the Air Force Academy in Georgetown. Well, they happen to be some of my top schools. So my top school, if you haven't figured it out, is the Air Force Academy. After high school, I'm hoping to either attend the Air Force Academy and become a first lieutenant in the United States Air Force and do my 20 years of service for a pension, or I will attend whatever school I go to and do their Air Force ROTC program to join the Air Force. But ideally, I'd like to go to the Air Force Academy. Now, my second school, which is also very hard reach to get into, is Georgetown. I visited Georgetown back in March, and I just loved it there. They've got everything I want, and I love the campus, and they're right there in DC, like where I want to be for my career after the Air Force. Now, my third choice is the University of Maryland, which are right outside of DC, and they have everything I want as well as the track and field and ROTC, and the school seemed like a perfect fit, just like the other ones. Now, what I plan on majoring in is political science, or international relations and affairs. Some of the schools only have one or the other, some have both, and I could dual major. So both kind of work out, both fit into my theme. Now, let's get into politics. You know, I'm a pretty political guy. I want to major in political science after all. So as you can see, I'm a moderately liberal guy. I'm not too extreme in anything. But, you know, I can argue both ways on a lot of things and a lot of topics. I don't really fit with, I am a Democrat, but I do agree with some things of the Republican Party and some things of the Democrat Party. So, for example, I'm very against socialism, and the idea of universal health care may seem great, and it would be really wonderful for everyone if we could have it, but it's truly not realistic. We do need social programs in society, but we do not need socialism. Socialism does not work. Social programs do work, but what people are pushing is large aspects of social programs which build up into socialism, which won't work because it's just kind of overloading on the American taxpayer and government spending, and it just does not work out most of the time. You can look at issues in Venezuela where it led to corruption when they just kept implementing more and more. It doesn't work out, and I think it would be against the interests of the American population. Now, I'm one of my more liberal ideals is I'm very pro-choice. It's her body, her choice. That's pretty common. And one of my more conservative ideals, which kind of goes against the party, and I argue with my father a lot, is I am very pro-death penalty. So in the United States of America, you have the right to life, love, and the pursuit of happiness. Now, when you commit a heinous crime, which is what we deem worthy of the death penalty, you're being deemed worthy of the death penalty because you're depriving someone of their right to life, love, and pursuit of happiness. And when you commit a crime, you forfeit your own rights. So in a sense, you forfeit your right to life. If you're going to take away someone's right or their ability to live their life the way they want to, you don't deserve to have the life in the United States of America, and you deserve the top punishment you can receive. Now, for this next election, I wish I could vote, but I will still be 17. But I would most definitely have been voting for Joe Biden or Pete Buttigieg if he was still in the running. Now, I'm pretty moderate, and I like their plans for healthcare and the economy, which is what they have, which really appealed to me. I liked Pete's plan, especially for healthcare, because while he did have some aspects of universal healthcare, which kind of was a large platform for all the Democrats in this election cycle, he wanted to make it available to everyone, but he also wanted to give the ability for everyone to maintain their private insurance, because without it, it would be a dent to the economy, and some people are very much content with the insurance they have now. So a sudden change up to a brand new government-run one, it's not going to be a smooth transition. We can all expect that. We can just look what happened with the Affordable Health Care Act in the Obama era. Well, it was a good idea. It was too rushed, and it didn't work out very well. So with this, it would have been planned out, and you would be able to keep your private insurance if you deemed it necessary. So it kind of worked out to the best of both worlds. Now, that is my presentation. I hope you had a good time watching this.